Well, what's going on, guys? And thank you for tuning in to today's deck profile. We have Mr. Darcy here with his red green Oden, and we are excited to jump into this, man. So, just kicking us off, tell us why you love Kozuki Oden so much.
It was more so when I first started actually watching One Piece. It was up to the Wano arc, and where I caught up was right as the Wano flashback was happening. So a lot of the time that I spent week to week was just sort of watching Oden, and I just really liked his character and like his ideals and stuff like that. Thought it was pretty cool, and then it just stuck with me really.
Awesome. So this profile is off the gameplay we just recently displayed, guys. So yeah, without ado, we are going to jump straight into it. Let's go.
Cool. So leader ability, it allows all of your character Wano cards without counter to have 1k counter. So your cards like the Izo, for example, from EB has no counter, but because of leader ability it gives you 1k. So actually kind of helps, because Wano's main issue was that it bricked a lot, so that definitely helps. And then 1 Don when attacking, as long as you control a 5 cost or more Wano character, the leader gains 1000 power until the end of my opponent's next turn. So
that's huge, eh?
Yeah, it stays a 6k body on my opponent's turn, but allows me to swing for 7 like a Katakuri, so that definitely helps. And then getting into the deck, obviously you run 4 Momo, just the Searcher, really good, helpful for just eating up attacks, and then helps me find my pieces for later on as well. And the more important thing is that the other Searcher, Otama, which is a 2k counter, can only find you green Wano, whereas Momo allows you to find the red Wano cards as well. So it's more optional to go for a Momo search if you need to find your 5 costs, but Otama does just as good a job and can stay on the field for another card which will come up later. Next we have the 2k counter Izo, just a standard great green 2k counter that lets you rest a 4 cost or less when you play him. Really helpful in this meta with Dofi, because it just allows you to rest either the boa blockers or the weevils, or just any threat that you kind of want to get rid of. Allows you to swing into them, so that definitely helps. And then you have Hiyori, which is mainly the bread and butter of this deck. If you don't see Hioris, it becomes a lot harder. It just allows you to play your 5 costs out for 1 less, but that 1 less is actually very impactful, and then it also draws itself back, so it kind of just cycles itself, which is good. Next up we have the Yamato, which is just going into the 5 costs now. This one's a 2k counter. Don't usually play it unless I really need to have a 5 cost on the field, but it does have its repetitive use of just giving a rested Don to a character or leader every turn. So it can just continuously get my leader ability up and running if it's not removed. And then it's also a 5k body, so it just can put pressure on stuff. The next 5 cost is Izo. This card is incredible for Oden. On play, it lets you add a Don to your leader, so then on 5 or even on 4 if you play it off Hiyori, it allows you to just get your leader ability online. And then it also has a very good effect on your opponent's attacks. It allows you to just ditch any card from hand and give minus 2k to a character or leader for the turn. Very helpful against things that can swing twice, or even 3 times, like the 9 cost Zoro. But then it also just turns any card in your hand to a 2k counter basically, which is really good. The next 5 cost is Denjiro, another critical card. It doesn't get you any on-play value, but if he sticks around, he would just continuously hammer your opponents while also getting you more Don to work with. And it's just a 5 cost 7k stat lines on both of these cards is just menacing really. And like they have 1k counter as well, which is like unheard of normally. The next card is Ryuma. Just another good card because it has counter now. But with this meta being revolved around Dofi, just being able to KO a rested 4-cost just straight off the bat is very handy. And then it's not really something they want to bounce with the 4-cost lore, because it just gives me the option to play it out and get rid of one of their characters again. So he tends to stick around and just apply pressure, which is also very handy if you have like other Don spare, because you can just swing 7s, or even if you like restand some Don with Dendro, you can then just put one onto Ryuma, one onto your leader, and you're still swinging double 7s as well. The next card that I put in is the starter deck Nami.
Now this is Bay right here, because I remember smashing this card, man, in set 1, set 2.
Yeah. No, it works surprisingly well with leader ability, just because it's one Don, and then it's a Don that you would be putting onto your leader anyway. So it just allows you to get more value in the turns after as well. If you, like, on your 4 Don, for example, if you want to do Hiyori to play out the Denjiro, you won't have a Don to actually put on your leader. But if you played out a Nami the turn before, it actually lets you do that. So then you can go into your next turn where you could, say, play an Izo, give the rested Don to one of your Denjiros, and then just keep swinging for big numbers while efficiently using your Don and not just having spare ones, or Don needed to be oh, I want to put on this character instead of this, so now I lose this attack. But with Nami, it just allows you to do both. And the next card is You Can Be My Samurai, which is another really good card. It just allows you to rest 2 of your characters to draw 2 cards. So most of the time, the cards I would rest is either Nami, Hiyori, Izo, or especially Otama. The main play that you will see is a Otama search into a Hiyori into a Samurai, so then you just rest both of them and draw 2 cards. And then Hiyori's ability, you just trash that, play out the Izo standing, and then you still draw another card. So you just get a lot of value off of this one card alone. But you do need to see your pieces, and if you don't, then sometimes you can just have these sitting in hand and they don't feel too useful. But most times out of not, you can just rest the Izo if you really need to, if you played him that turn. Or you can rest one of the Namis. Even a Ryuma is not a bad one, because he has that on KO ability to KO a 4-cost as well, so that's pretty good. And then going into the top end, I run 2 Dragon. Just good for if I already have a 5-cost on the field, especially one like Denjiro, because then I can just play him, give the 2 rested to Denjiro, and then swing for 9. Then the 2 that I restand, I can put on leader, swing for 8, and then I've still got another 9k swing because he's rush. The next top end is Whitebeard. On play, you can just give your leader plus 2,000. So again, if I have a Nami, or if I have just 10 Don with a 5-cost on the field, I can play down Whitebeard to give my leader 2k, and then I can swing for 9 while still being an 8k on my opponent's turn, which can just stop any attacks happening or any lethals from happening, which is really good. The next one is Dofi. It's just such a critical card in green, especially at the moment, where it can alleviate pressure so well and just store you for that extra turn that can then win you the game. So sometimes it could be you play Dofi, and then the next turn you play out a Dragon, and it's you already have now 2 big bodies that are swinging, and then anything else that you had on board, you can just either clear or just go for the game. It's super strong. And then the last card I run is 4 Red Beams. Just a good counter card. You normally want to take life when you play Oden, and then if you just have your Namis or even the Yamatos to move Don around, you can keep a Don spare to use for Rad Beam, and you just get out of most attacks, especially being at a 6k leader. Very helpful.
Yeah.
And that's the deck.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, the deck's been performing pretty well for you. You've been rocking it at locals as well,
Yeah.
I hear, and been surprising people. So it's been good. It's been good to see a bit of Oden in the mix.
Yeah, it's very fun. I do love it.
Love it, man. Love it. So before we head off, we'd just love to send some shout outs and to our sponsors Beyond Odyssey and Team Card Titan over there.
Yeah.
And remember to like and subscribe, guys, and to hit that bell to stay notified. And as always, we will see you on the next one. Cheers, Darcy.
Thanks, guys.